the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 182, and we are here with the guys at BIA. And before I introduce them, I just want to pay the bills real quick before we get into our Vegas market preview for Bed and Industries of America. If you haven't bought my book, what are you waiting for? Buy, Sell a Million, 101 Tips for Furniture and Mattress Store Owners to Sell Another $1 million or more this year. It's not a sales book, even though there are sales things in here. It's really a marketing book. And I would like to thank my friends at the Mattress Industry Network group for sponsoring the show. Steve and Greg, we appreciate you. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you in this group. You want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, this is the group for you. It's 100% free. Hit that QR code and say hi. I'm in that group a few times a week. It's a great group, guys. And it is a group founded by mattress retailers for the benefit of the entire industry. And hey, Patrick Tinney, thank you for saying hi to me. 4 great sales books right there. As a matter of fact, Patrick, you made some sales from last week's show. So that's awesome. And without a further ado, let me thank Phil and Jared and the entire group at Bed and Industries of America for sponsoring our show as well. And here is our announcement. If you are going to Vegas, we want you to come to B1118. Happy hour every day at 3 to 6. That's not why you should come, but it is an added benefit. This is literally a candy store for mattress nerds. If you want to know what's going on in the mattress industry, come to BIA. It is the place to be when you're in Vegas. It's a great place, and we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about it. But any of you who don't know who BIA is, we are lighting it up. We have imported beds from England. We have split head beds in all foam. We have split head beds in hybrids. We have split head beds coming out of the ears. We're the first to do an American-made hybrid split head. If you want Harvest, which is organic and natural components with a natural story, which is lighting it up, that is the brand right now. If you want a bed that will last a lifetime, Eastman House right there, the lifetime beds. They are built with a 20-year warranty, built for your biggest, heaviest customers who need the most support. And if there's something that's near and dear to your heart, sometimes we forget about this at BIA. We are the go-to manufacturer for your own brand. That's right. We private label, guys. So don't forget that. Let me bring on my friends and my bosses, Steve Karns, who runs the entire country for sales, and our COO, Phil Carlitz, and owner of BIA. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, He's Pete. My boss, by the way.
What's that?
Phil's my boss.
Well, you're both my bosses, so that I got that covered.
Yeah, so, and what a great place it is to be.
So, Steve, I'm glad you don't have laryngitis. So, if you guys want a little inside baseball, what goes on behind the scenes? Steve calls me with a gag call this morning. Pete, I think I got laryngitis. I'm like, great. I'll be able to talk on my show now. So he doesn't have laryngitis, so I'm not going to talk. So it'll be awesome.
I think you said this is episode 182, and that's the first time somebody did that to you.
Yes, it is. It's more than 182. I had 35 others on another show that I started off with. Vernon Williams Good morning, afternoon to all. Looking forward to seeing BIA in Vegas. Yeah, Vernon, I'm looking forward to seeing you. So, you want to talk about one of the smartest guys in the room? I was in a room in Paducah, Kentucky, guys, at Scott Vaughn's Mattress Success Summit, and I got to meet Vernon. And one of my regrets from those 3 days is I didn't spend enough time with Vernon. So, Vernon, let's hook up in Vegas and spend some time together. I'm glad you're coming to BIA. Steve, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm a dealer. I don't know who BIA is. I have just been sleeping under a rock and I don't know who they are. Who is BIA? What do we do? And why should they come and see us in Vegas?
That's a big question.
It's
You
3
say
questions.
the show goes 1 hour, right? From this point.
I'm going to take a nap and I'll see you in a little bit.
Hopefully within by the time we're finished here, you're going to absolutely want to see us in Vegas. You know, I think the very first thing that I want to comment on is you know, there's been all my reps saying, oh, this guy's not coming, this guy's not coming. We're hearing a lot of that. This morning my phone was ringing. You know, it's Monday, the show actually starts on Sunday. We see people Saturday, sometimes even on Friday. But I want to say that, you know, business has been tougher. It hasn't been non-existent. You have to work harder today than you had over the last 5 years. There's no doubt about that. But the reason you should go to market when things are slow is because they're slow. And you need sometimes that catalyst, that one thing that puts you over the top. And it may not necessarily be the products that you're purchasing. It may be the conversation you had in the hallway that sparks that next ingenuity that gets you to the next level, that increases your business on the year, you know, time and time again. And by the way, the Mattress Industry Network, you know, they always put on a little thing. I always go to it. I always try to be there. Usually it's, I don't even know, Pete, you may know, I haven't seen
Monday at 6 at Victory Burger. Be there or be square,
perfect
guys.
Place. Yep. But anyhow, you know, there's everybody and everybody there. I mean, you can walk through, there's vendors, there's mattress stores, there's, you know, reps, there's everybody there. You know, I always pick up something when I'm walking through the group, and I always try to get around and say hello to everyone. But you know, these are important things that happen, you know, when you're at market. Not to say that there's probably some niche in bedding that you don't have. You know, again, you know, we're talking about Bedding Industries of America, but you know, there's only 700 bedding shops at the market, and if you can't find it in Vegas, you're not going to find it in the bedding industry. And I think most of it is right in our showroom, so it's a one-stop shop.
Yep. Phil, I see you're itching to get in here.
Yeah, I mean, Steve's favorite line is BIA being like you're a kid in a candy store. And I kind of think that's what we try to do a lot of the times. You know, our number one objective is huge value for retailers, right? So we will give you differentiated product at a you know, at price points that you can earn the longest margins on. And we give you stories in our product that helps with your marketing. And in addition to that, we give you tons of marketing material to help push it on social media, on all of the advertising channels that you're using. So I think, you know, that's a lot of the story that we like to tell at BIA. It's somewhere you can come and really see every kind of mattress, every kind of category, but you're going to get it at a better value and a better price at BIA than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, since Phil just laid up my slide that I sent to Chris. Chris, is it possible to pop that up now? Yeah. So this is something I've been working on for market, and I call it the compass. And really what Phil just talked about is the bull center there, the bullseye. You know, what BIA really does, I think, far superior than anyone out there is that, we put a very good quality product out. One of my favorite things to do when I have someone visit the factory is when we're walking through the factory, I make them read the tags of our raw materials. This is a 1.845. This is a 1.820. What's that mean? Well, that's a 1.8 density, 20 ILD foam. And I actually have them touch and feel all of the components. I have them do a pinch test. I have them rub their hand across it. I do all of those things because, I think it's, what is it? Snapple Ice Tea. It says made from the best stuff on earth. Well, BIA beds are made from the best stuff in this industry. That's all about the bottom star there, or rosette, which is quality. The value that we can offer, with our patented sleep technologies, like spinal zone quilting, all of those really special things that make a better mattress. And not only is it, trade patents, but we also have COSCA, which is the Congress of Chiropractic's seal of approval on a lot of our products. These are beds that have been tested, and they actually perform to a higher level. And then, what we're all here for one main reason, and that's to make money. And you do that by able to command higher margins at retail. And I'm going to tell you that our retail base is absolutely killing it when it comes to making money off of our beds. And then the final thing, which Phil was alluding to, was to execute. We have product lines that are built to make things easier to sell. I just went through and looked at the floor plan before we started, and we have 4 separate your comfort categories that's going to be covered at this show, and we do those from $29.99 the whole way down to $499. And if you haven't figured out what your comfort is, you really need to come in and get a presentation, because our dealers that have gotten behind this, I think we're probably, over 300 dealers now, coast to coast, running this program. They are not having down years. It is a way to qualify. It is a way to satisfy that customer with their involvement at the highest possible level that you can. There's no smoke and mirrors here. It is absolutely phenomenal sales presentation. We have all the marketing to go with it: headboards, pillows, footers, the whole thing, expel the whole thing out, spider signs. It's absolutely magnificent. And that's just something way cool. Just a quick 30,000 foot view. This is our showroom. If you can back out a little bit on that graphic, this is what we have in Vegas. We have Millbrook bedding, which are English-made world-class beds, up to 8,000 coils in a queen-size mattress. These are chemical-free masterpieces, and nothing. I always hear the commercials that said nothing else drives like a Jeep. I'm going to tell you, when you lay on a Millbrook, nothing else sleeps like a Millbrook. And then we'll have our Hemingway beds there, our artisans. And again, I always say this is the American versions. They are unbelievable, with the linen covers and the Tasha silk and the latex and the nano coil technology and the double stack nested coils. Absolutely phenomenal. Phil has worked real hard on a new heritage system that we'll have, which is absolutely gorgeous. We'll have our Moonlight, the bed that started it all, in the showroom. And then, I spent last week in Charlotte at a conference, and, we've had Glacier in the line for a few years. And last week, I'm going to say I've always been a fan. Last week, I became a sensational fan of Glacier. It was just we had it laid out a little bit differently. We had it all there. And the way that the dealers were reacting to our Glacier products was second to none. Absolutely phenomenal. And then, the beds that are near and dear to my heart, the Curve and the Curve Hybrid, absolutely high technology beds. They are state of the art in the industry. They have the best of everything in them, and are there for just about everything. And then we also have our Harvest beds there, which is as far as I'm concerned, the industry's first. It's a revenue share program. And if you don't know what that means, it means that if a sale's made in your area, you get the revenue off of the sale, and without even seeing the customer. And that's something super special. And then at the very top on the other side, we have the Embrace Sleep products. And again, I'm just giving you a 30,000 foot overview right now, but that's our new gold certified latex mattresses. And I will tell you, we have been selling those like crazy into dealers in the last 3 months. They are so comfortable. They're just dynamic beds. But that gives you a 30,000 foot overview. I think that was Phil's first time of seeing the what I call the compass. But it is really, and the reason why I came up with the compass is, we have roughly 5,000 square feet there, and you walk in, and I think sometimes you get overwhelmed because it's a sea of beds. And I wanted to show that there is a method to our madness. And if you follow that wheel, that compass, it absolutely shows you why BIA is different than every other brand out there.
You want to hear what you missed?
What do you think of the compass?
I love the compass. I love the compass. I think when we think about diagnosing the customer, right? Customers come into the store and we want to try to get them onto the best possible bed. There's two ways that I've seen dealers do it really well, one of which is going through different technologies, right? And the compass kind of does that. It allows people to try out, are you an all latex customer? Are you a latex hybrid customer? What bed is really right for you? And the other way is the way that we invented, which is the Your Comfort marketing and diagnostic strategy, right? And that is, we put together a lineup of 5 beds, all with the same cover. And I'm a fan of you too, Scott. I'm a fan of you too. And when a customer lays on it, they can kind of go left or right and figure out what the best bed is for them, right? So it's all one technology, and then you figure out the firmness level that works for you. So I love the compass. I think it's one of the 2 ways that dealers can use to sort of diagnose the customer and get them through their store in the best possible way.
And the real significance of the diagnostic beds, the comfort, the Your Comfort, is you can take a below average sales pro at retail, you can help him or her perform above average, like immediately within 5 minutes of making this presentation to them and teaching it to them. They can actually just implement it. It's super simple. And what I'm hearing from a lot of retailers right now is there are challenges with finding qualified sales pros who are really great at their craft. And so if that's a challenge to you, you really need to come in and see are Your Comfort beds. They make your sales pros better. They increase closing averages. They increase tickets. And we have all kinds of them. We started off with one and it just caught fire. Something I want
to not to interject, but it's perfect time. I cannot tell you how many dealers after they install the Your Comfort system, come up to me and say, prior to this, 80% of my bedding volume was done by 20% of my sales associates. I now have the bottom 80% performing. And I want to tell you, that's a really good secret. When you can get your entire sales staff to engage in mattresses and do it efficiently, man, it is just so much stronger sales soar.
And let me just add to that too, because James commented on here, BIA is better industry adaptation, and he made up that slogan, but I like it a lot. One of the ways that we do that is if you walk into your typical mattress firm or you walk into your top 100 store or whatever, you're going to see 60, 70, 80 mattresses on the floor. And as a customer, you walk in and you're like, I just have no idea what to do with all this. And unless you have an RSA that's there with you, kind of walking you through, if you just walked into that store by yourself, you'd have no clue what to do. And so the way that we're kind of adapting to that, and I think it's true, is we're creating that system where a customer can see 5 beds. You don't even need an RSA there, because we've built out all the marketing material and the POP for you. You don't need anyone there. Customer could just walk through, try out this lineup of 5 beds, and then really figure out, okay, this is my feel. Now I got to go find that feel in the rest of the store. And so we're really trying to make the customer experience better. This isn't just a marketing program that we're coming out with to sell to dealers. This is for dealers to help their own customers. And when their customers are happy, they tend to come back, right? So that's kind of the entire thought process behind it. And I think it's really worked incredibly well.
Dale Novi, who actually is a Your Comfort customer, dealer, been using the Your Comfort system for 5 months. Love it. Helps customer realize that there are a difference in mattress feel. Yeah, 100%. Super easy. Justin Trumbo. Hey, Justin, what's up? BIA is always forward thinking. Amen. I am so blessed that I am with these guys because they are on it. Always forward thinking. BedTech and I appreciate them launching so many split heads models to really help bring the size to market. Phil and team are solid. Thank you, Justin. We appreciate you. And Stu, I don't know if I'm coming. Stop right there. Stu, just get there. I'll put you on my sofa. You don't even have to pay for a room. Come on, dude. Let's go. What do you got to hang around Louisiana when you can be in Vegas with us? Come on. I don't know if I'm coming or not, but this alone from BIA has me intrigued. Pete, get with me. So I'm getting with you right now, Stu. Get your butt there. If I have to sleep on the sofa and give you my bed, I'll do it. Okay. Just get to Vegas. All right, brother. Enough. And Winfield Hansen, please explain the Your Comfort system process and how it works for those of us not familiar. Steve, you want to run with that?
Okay, sure. So, what are we, almost 2 years out with it now?
Yeah.
And by the way, in that time period, we have learned tremendous amounts. The very first thing that Winfield that we have to do is we have to figure out what your median is, because that's exactly why we have so many different levels of Your Comfort. Is we need to go in and we need to figure out what your medium price ticket is in mattresses. And then what my goal is to set a Your Comfort system about $200 at retail above where your current median is. And the reason for this is that you will draw every customer that comes up to the Your Comfort system, because that's going to be your test center. And it works sort of like this. If you're familiar with ILDs and foam, it sort of follows the ILD. So you have hyper soft foam, you have super soft foam, you have regular cushioning foam, you have firm foam, and then you have orthopedic foam. So what we do is we create 5 beds with the same amount of upholstery, varying the different ILDs from the quilts the whole way into the upholstery, and the spring remains constant throughout the 5 samples, depending what that spring system is. Then we number the beds from 1 being the softest, which is, by the way, 10 ILD, drop off the 0, you get a 1. The whole way up to 5, 50 being the hardest foam that's probably used in the bedding industry. That's why we call that one a 5. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the marketing, we do headboards behind each bed to clearly identify which bed is a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, and a 5. And then we tell the customers, come in, lie down on number 3 or the center bed, and tell me 3 questions. Is this bed just right for you? Do you think you want it a little bit softer, or do you think you want it a little bit firmer? Whatever their answer is, not our preference, but whatever their answer is, we move them 1 bed to the left if they want to go firm, 1 bed to the right if they want to go soft. And then it's 2 questions. Is this bed just right for you, or do you want to go a little bit softer? And then we move one more over to the right. If they say they want a little bit softer, they'll either say, Eureka, I found it, or I really like this one over here. And it's just that simple. By the way, busy Saturdays, you got more customers in the store than sales associates. This is a really quick, here's 5 beds. Start in the center. If you want it softer, go to the right. If you want it firmer, go to the left. And I'll be back in 5 minutes. Find out what bed you like the best. And then what we do from that point is I code the rest of the stores to our numbering system. And I call it the Chick-fil-A party because I usually bring Chick-fil-A, and I have all the warehousemen, the office staff, the salespeople, and I go out and I code the floors. But anyhow, it is so powerful now. The customer feels like they're in charge, and they're going to find their exact bed that matches them. So, as I always said, there's 2 ways to be to have a customer find comfort in your store. They find the right mattress, and then they find the one that's comfortable for their wallet. And we got it down. Did I miss anything, Pete?
No, I think that's perfect. And Steve, that's a funny comment, and it's a true comment. Here's the funny thing. We rolled this out 2 years ago. You all should have all knocked us off by now, but the problem is we evolve and we change, and we're going so fast. I don't think anybody can keep up with what we're doing. So you guys go right ahead. Try to knock us off. Jeff Janakovo, superstar team right here. Love our partnership with B. And of course, Pete, I will give you the money later, Jeff. Thank you very much.
By the way,
Jeff,
that's where I go.
We love you. And we love the fact that, we just got Millbrook on your floor, and your guys love it. And we are looking forward to doing.
But by the way, I learn more from Jeff. When I go in and sit down with Jeff in his store, I'll learn more in an hour sitting down with Jeff than almost any other retailer out there. The guy is really got it down pat.
Yeah, that is a true statement. And guys, listen, I'm not going to let you guys off the hook. I constantly beat this. If you are a large retailer and you need a private label, we do private labels better than anybody in this industry. And Phil, you were with me on this one. We promised a particular retailer that we would essentially make the same beds for them and make them at the same price, even if they were lower than what normally we would like to do. Given the commitment to the entire program and the SKUs, made sense for us. What nobody realized was how bad, and I'm not using any names, but how bad our competition was. We ripped open a mattress that had no foam in it. No foam. No. Is it the truth? Is that?
Yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying. It's not the first time.
And,
Not the first time that's happened either.
and I'm going to quote Phil. We agreed to make this at the same price, and we will. The bed's going to be 20% heavier because we're actually going to put good stuff in it, and the dealer couldn't have been happier. So those of you who have special projects, and private label is an important part of your business. Maybe your current OEM provider isn't doing what they should be doing with you, for your business. Call us, reach out to Steve, reach out to Phil. If you're in Ohio or Western PA, reach out to me. We do OEM and we do it better than anybody else. Guys, your turn.
Yep.
Well, I want to follow up on first of all, thanks Jeff for everything you're putting in the chat. We certainly appreciate it. I think like a lot of what we do is from our learnings from some of these high-end dealers that we work with. Pretty much all of the systems that we work with comes out of feedback from dealers like Jeff, who are telling us what needs to be done and how we can do it efficiently. It's funny that Steve put in there Steve Hauk put in there there's a recipe for manufacturers. Good luck trying to follow us on this, because we've got about 15 different versions of this program, and if you're going to match us, you're going to need to do a lot of work on the manufacturing side to be able to keep up with what we're able to do.
Yeah, I remember you really went to work on this, Steve. It did not come together easily or quickly.
No, it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, you better have a good understanding of raw materials and how they work inside a mattress. Not that saying no one else can do it. Of course, anybody could knock it off, but nobody has. And let's just try to keep it that way, because I'm enjoying the success right now. Pete, we talked about split heads, and again, from our Glacier split head program with Polar Touch covers, the PCM covers, and the copper infused memory foams, and the nano coils, and the latex. And we now make those in a multitude of different furnaces. That was really exciting. And then we launched the Embrace latex, gold certified latex program, and we decided to do the whole thing in split heads. And it is absolutely amazing. And what I'm going to probably pitch harder than anything is when we, and this is again things that I've learned over the course of the last few years, but our regular split head models that we make in our Glacier program are so comfortable, and we get all excited about split head, and we go in and we set up the split head right by the front door so that the retailer can show to the area that he's at the leading edge of the mattress industry. And the people really love it because they can see the individual adjustability very well, all of those great, wonderful things. But I started analyzing my sales coming out of the stores that we put the split heads in. And while they were great, the regular flatbeds were, not where I expected them. So now every place that I'm putting split heads in, I'm telling the dealers, take the same model and put it flat someplace, because you're missing a lot of sales, because these are great value mattresses. And, we pitch them as split heads because we're excited about it, but we forget the value that's in those beds. And that was one thing that Phil and I think you were on page with me down in Charlotte. That was one thing I really picked up on from the dealers down there. You got to do it both ways, because people don't get that they come regular flat also, but that Glacier line's just been on fire for us. Phil created the hand tufted models, the Washington, the McKinley, the Everest, and we do them as tight tops and firmer beds and Euro tops and plush beds, and they all have overloaded PCM covers. And I don't know if I've seen that quality of product on any dealer's floor from any other manufacturer. I mean, they are sensational. The beds feel amazing. And if you haven't checked out our Glacier line of bedding, it's a great engine that creates wonderful profit for your stores. Wouldn't you agree, Pete?
I agree 100%. Once the salespeople really understand the actively cooling covers, they understand the benefits of Tufton, and they understand how it differentiates. But that is an interesting problem that we created with the split heads. Even creating special tags that show the flat price still doesn't communicate it well enough to the retail customer. They really almost need to see it side by side. And by the way, it's available as a regular bed too. Here it is, and here's the price. And it's a great value either way they go.
Yep. So that being said, the other area that I've just had, I'm going to say super success with in the last 4 or 5 months is the Embrace Gold certified latex beds. We're doing the 8 to 13 inch all latex beds. We have a special program underneath that. And then we also have the 2 and 3 inch toppers that we also do in split head, which is pretty cool. The beds are, I call them amazingly comfortable. I get out and about a lot, and I actually have a 3 inch topper on my bed at home. And last night we got home sort of late, and we got in, and I laid down in my bed, and we forgot these little things in life, and I'm like, oh man, this is really nice. And it is we forget so quickly, and I love those fleeting moments where I'm actually a consumer and not a mattress guy, and I can actually say that's pure enjoyment. But anyhow, and again, you look for opportunities where you can make money, and this is absolutely one of those areas where your dealers are going to be smiling from ear to ear. There's not a lot of other products out in the marketplace that are like latex beds. The only drawback that I see on a latex bed is that they're heavy. They weigh a lot. But man, you put them on an adjustable bed, and there's nothing that contours to an adjustable bed base like an all latex bed. You want to sell more adjustable beds, you will sell more latex mattresses.
100%. And one of the things that I love about it is it feels so different. It gives the dealer something different than what his competitors have down the street. And it's something that a customer cannot lay on and not have a reaction. Either they're going to love it, or sometimes they might hate it, but that's okay too, because then you put them right in the memory foam. You've learned something about that customer. But if you don't have latex on your floor, you are missing a unique feel. You are missing a unique story, and you are actually taking ammunition away from your sales pro at retail, and you're making them work from a handicap position instead of having everything they need to win with. Sorry, I digress.
Right to memory foam. And that was actually a good segue. It was the one I was going to jump on. So, we have the curve beds here. And I said earlier, these are the highest technology beds that we have. We have a proprietary memory foam that is gel infused and also has PCM incorporated into its design. And when I say PCM incorporated into the design, it's probably the coldest thing you'll ever touch with your hand, but it's done on the interior of the bed, so it's a lot more subtle. This foam is also ventilated. It's air punch, just like latex. So the airflow that you get out of that top surface of these beds are phenomenal. But going back to the adjustable beds story and how wonderful latex is on an adjustable bed, Phil was the catalyst that created the curved core. And again, I'm thinking we're probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. We were standing at a conference in Phoenix, Arizona, and Phil said, how do you get an adjustable bed, more contouring on a adjustable bed, or a mattress more contouring on an adjustable bed? And I said, well, what most manufacturers do is they drop the ILD of the core so that it adjusts. But the problem with that is you've reduced the support, and usually you wake up with a sore back. So he said, we got to figure that out. And I just happened to see a display of an adjustable bed across the hallway. And I said, that's how we need to make our mattress. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, we need to segment it out. So he said, well, why don't you figure it out? So I went back to the factory, and I'm every production manager's nightmare. I'm out there. I got my knife. I'm cutting blocks of foam. I'm gluing them together. I went in. I measured every adjustable bed I could find in the place, and I made a core, and I brought it in, and I started playing with how it reacted on the base, and we got it so that the foot stayed flat when you elevated the bottom of the foot. And when you raise the head, it actually bent perfectly up. And we worked, we kept perfecting it. And we use it in every curve, the curved core and the curved beds. And we developed a true hybrid. A hybrid is supposed to be half foam, half coil. Well, normally they put the coil on the bottom and then foam on top. Our hybrid in the curve has foam on the bottom, coil in the middle, and then more specialty on top. It's unlike any other hybrid that's out there. The conformability is at a much higher level. It also, we do it in a Fab 5, which is the Your Comfort system. So you can get it from an extra firm the whole way to a luxury plush. And I'm going to tell you, they're my little darlings. We put a PCM cover on it. We have the PCM upholstery that's ventilated. It has the curved core. I mean, we're talking about high technologies that you will not find in any other product at that level. And again, these are value-driven products of super high quality. And when we show you the amount of margin that you can make on these products, I promise you're going to get behind them in full force. Pete, I caught you sleeping.
No, you didn't catch me sleeping. You caught me sending a text to somebody. That's what you caught me doing. So go ahead.
I was going to say, the other important, I know, we're sort of getting toward the end of the show, but our friends from England, Ross Thurston, he is actually traveling in. He's coming a few days early. He's actually going to be working my New England market for me with the dealers that have put Millbrook bedding on there, and New York City and New England. And I'm going to tell you again, these just aren't normal mattresses. These are world-class bedding. They are handmade. They are hand side stitched. They are tufted. They have Hampshire wool. That's why every Millbrook bed has one black tuft on it, because the Hampshire sheep that are indigenous to the British Isles have a black face. And So their marketing goes right back to that black tuft. They're now starting to put a QR code that you can track the wool that's used in that bed back to the farm in England that wool came from. It's actually a really cool program. But Ross is going to be here. Nobody knows more about Millbrook bedding than Ross, and he said he'll even do your commercials for him because he looks like 007.
Absolutely.
He's probably listening now.
So let's help dealers understand the difference between, an American made bed and a Millbrook bed that's made in England. From start to finish,
Yeah.
how long does it take to make a Millbrook bed versus an American made bed?
Yeah, he's somewhere, I believe, depending on the size, between 8 and 12 hours of total man hours that goes into a Millbrook bed. All right. Now, if you use the International Sleep Products Association, that adds up all the manufacturers in the United States, and they do a time study with the hours that goes in. It's about a little over 3/4 of an hour per piece that goes into making an American bed. There's quite a bit of difference there. And in a handmade bed, they're layering bats of wool and cotton and nano quills all in by hand. When they do the stitches, and I forget the number of hand side stitch, it's one needle that goes in around the coils and then back out. And they have to go, every one of those dots on the side of the bed is a side stitch, and they go the whole way around the mattress and tie everything together. It's just an amazing process of which they build their beds.
So just giving it, call it an hour instead of 3/4 of an hour.
Yep.
It's 8 to 12 times longer of a manufacturing process. So for those customers who want the best of the best, and that is a unique product that has a great story that a sales pro can tell at retail, and the customer can feel when they lay down on the bed.
And the nice part is it's not going to cost the retailer or the consumer $25,000 for a queen mat. We have them under $10,000. And at that price level, we are a major value in imported world-class bedding.
I'm glad you brought that up because sometimes it gets lost in the mix. Steve, do me a favor. Let's pull that compass back up because we are kind of heading into our lightning round here.
Chris has to do it for us, Pete.
There we go. It's magic. Thank you, Chris. You're the best. Anything here, guys, we want to talk about that maybe we haven't?
Harvest. We didn't really do a deep dive in Harvest. The Harvest, it's one of my favorite conversations is when I have a dealer I probably haven't talked to for a while, and I get a telephone call and said, "Hey, I just got a check." and I was like, "Well, what'd you get a check for?" "Oh yeah, well, somebody sold a Harvest on the site, and I didn't even know the customer, and I got a check for the amount," and they were like just smiling ear to ear. I can say Drew at one of your accounts, Drew, he taught me how to sell Harvest at retail, and I listened to him make a presentation, and he is absolutely smashing when he makes that presentation on the Harvest product. I want to tell you, it's a fun product. It's a chemical-free Gold Guard Green certified, so there's no VOC off-gassing. It's a true hybrid. The bottoms, even on the one-sided beds, are made as good as the tops, in my opinion. We're talking about a quality or a level of quality that at these price points, it's ridiculous value. and the retailers participate at another level into harvest. This isn't a product you bring in and throw on the floor. You get a sales area, a zip code system around your store, and if it's sold off of the national website, they get the revenue off of that sale. If it's sold off of their website, they get all the revenue. If people come into the store, which is what we try to drive, people into the store to try the beds, then it's even better yet. But the other cool part is that we have our web services that come in and help the dealer set all of this up, and the level of help is pretty spectacular. And it usually what happens is it starts when we start a harvest conversation. It also starts, how do we improve your website to get harvest in there? And then once we get on that track, we're also going to be doing some major things to improve the websites of our dealers. I think right now I probably have 50 different dealers that we are actively trying to improve their websites, and that's part of our services that we do. It is a major accomplishment for us, and our man that runs that, our director of internet services, will be at Las Vegas, and his name's Joe McCahey. And I want to tell you, Joe, he's a mattress guy. He might do internet services, but he's a mattress guy at heart. He understands the bedding industry, and he was also a former owner and of a sleep shop retailer, and that also gives him insight that is second to none. From navigation of your website to landing pages to SEO searches and where you're doing your Google spend and all of that. I mean, we get into the nitty gritty and just try to fine tune your system, because let's face it, people don't shop in the newspaper, they shop on the internet. So our presence on that internet has to be the best. And we have to figure out how to get customers from sitting in front of their screen to sitting in front of your store.
I love that. I received a report from Joe regarding one of my dealers that Phil was gracious enough to provide to our dealer and to me. And I was shocked and surprised pleasantly to realize that we had made a commitment to really, really helping our dealers. The world has changed, and a lot of our dealers that we love haven't changed quickly enough, and we're helping them get with the program so that they can be super successful. So when you think of BIA, I don't want you to think about just great innovators. We are that, no doubt. I mean, I'll put Carns against anybody as a mattress guy who's been through it and who can, lay on a mattress and say, you know what, that ILD on that mattress just needs to be a little bit firmer or a little bit softer. It'll be perfect once you do that. He can do that. But Joe can revolutionize your business. If your website is not properly optimized, if your social media is not properly aimed and optimized, you're missing the boat. I know this is near and dear to your heart, Phil, because you really started this whole thing. So
He did.
Have at it, man.
Am I off mute? Okay, good. Yeah, I think I'm good. I mean, we wanted to be, again, it's always about being different for us. It's pretty easy for manufacturers to, design a new rectangle. But what we're trying to do is really help our dealers and improve their sell-through. And so one of the things that we launched by bringing on BIA Digital, which, as you said, is headed by Joe, is we essentially launched a consulting service for BIA dealers that he'll do a free, kind of write up of your overall website and things that could be improved, and then he'll give you the tools to kind of go through and improve your SEO, improve your positioning on the web so that more people can find you easily. It's something that we've even worked with top 100 and 100 store chains that have been able to use a lot of the work that we've done for them on the digital side. So it's important that we give dealers the tools to be able to help sell through, because it helps both parties. But this is just something that we all need to adapt to, because it's, again, you're talking better industry adaptation. We're talking consumers being able to find local stores easily, right? I mean, that's the whole goal of what we do, is to be able to find, help a consumer find the store that they want to go into, and then once they're there, be able to diagnose themselves and get through that store as quickly and efficiently as possible. That's their goal. A consumer's goal when they're walking into a mattress store, to find the mattress that they want, buy it, and leave, right? And so we're trying to make that easy from all stages of the funnel. And so BIA Digital makes the most sense, because that's the very top of that funnel, where people are looking for, how do I find the best local mattress store? And so that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, just one thing that I think that your viewers need to hear is that you may have an internet service provider that you're using. Joe and his team will absolutely work with anyone. I have guys in big buying groups that buy the platform, and Joe goes in and says, we need to tweak this, we need to touch this up, this isn't right, we need to put a banner on top of this page, whatever it is. And I think that's really, really important. I know you're spending money with these developers, but we can go in and actually show the developers how to maximize it for betting, and that's what we're all here for.
Well, guys, we have run out of time, but thank you both so much. Any last words before we say goodbye?
See you in Vegas.
See you in Vegas.
We definitely will see you in Vegas. And till then, sell a million.